the people in the world. Let's rock, let's rock, let's rock tonight. Raise your hands. One for unity, one for peace, one for freedom, one for love. Yeah, nothing's gonna stop us. We can do it all together, all together.
Hello, hello. Who here would be interested in learning Matrix's Patty Melt, but to go? Let me see a hand. Let me see a hand. Hands. Yes, yeah. There are people digitally joining us. Maybe seeing this later. You can put a hand in the comment. You can put a hand up in the chat if you so will it. However you'd love to engage, I'd love to see you engage. First and foremost, I'm glad that you guys are all excited to take a moment and learn something to expand your career. That's not easy to do. Schedules are chaotic. Lives are chaotic. You know, there's just so much going on. You need to pat yourself on the back. Go ahead, pat yourself on the back that you're taking some time to further your career. I am so proud of you. But who am I anyway? My name is Kayla Live. I have been doing hair for approximately 17 years. Within that 17 years, I kept asking questions. I wanted to go further. I wanted to be better because the better I was for my clients. Along those lines, that path, line, some kind of parallel way, I started sharing a lot of the information I was learning. I got really excited to share that information, which led me to become a matrix artist. Any piece of information, I'm sharing it the minute I get it, except for secrets, but like good secrets, right? Anyway, continuing on. Today, I hope to take what is normally a larger class and squish it down into just a few minutes to give you like a little sampler, right? Sampler. Everybody loves a sampler pack, right? So in front of you, you can see those 3 bowls. For those of you, that are following digitally, following after we've all done this, I'm going to post over here what our supply list is. Basically, what we are going to be doing is we have a foil with our lovely little model that I had prepped prior for everybody. So this lovely piece will be our melting piece. And go ahead and get that out, get ready, get gloved. And I have some questions for you. Well, not some, just one question. Do you think that you all, and give me a Y in the chat if you can, and just nod if you're with me, can you keep some listening ears on while we kind of paint these swatches? Because I'd love for you to gain as much knowledge as you can out of the class that we have today. What do you think? Yeah? Yeah? Thumbs up? Let me check. Let me see some thumbs up in the chat. Oh yeah, we're good. So go ahead and prep yourselves. Ooh, we had a mod. Okay. So while you're painting away, do you think that you could listen for me? We can listen. Maybe in the chat, can I get an ear? I mean, you may be watching this later and you can pause and come back. But if we can multitask, let's go for it, right? Let's go for it. That being said, here we go. I'm going to have you follow up here if you're with me in person. If you are not with me in person, again, hello from wherever you are. I'm going to be sharing my screen. Follow along. Not only in front of you are those 3 bowls that I just mentioned. For those of you who are joining either later or digitally, I have 3 bowls prepped for everyone so that they may color this beautiful swatch here with some of our amazing color. So while they're painting, I'm going to continue jibber jabbing. Everything should be right off to my left though. I have a technical malfunction. So my rules of engagement right now, first things first, if you did not take a picture of what you're doing, go ahead and do that right now. Right now. And if you're digital, go ahead and take pictures of the screen. You can keep my beautiful face forever, but you can take pictures to follow along. I do encourage pictures. I do encourage videos. All I ask is that you're not talking to your best friend in the corner while everyone else is trying to learn. So we are kind of Quentin Tarantinoing this. We are going to give it a little bit of an out of order feel. I had said about the bowls, I had said about your 2 swatches and your foils that have the lines on them. Go ahead and get those out. I'm going to tell you how we're going to apply them. I know I've been talking about this for a second, but let's just go. We're running. We're going to go. Very first is your pink bowl, and that's going to be about 2 inches or 1.5 inches, depending on what you're feeling frisky with. This is where it gets weird. We're going to jump down to 3. We're going to do our ends. Does anyone want to guess why? I see a lot of space, like just blanks. That's okay. I'm going to tell you here in a second. If you know it in the chat, go ahead and put it. I'll see you here in a minute. Give me a second. And then we're going to do our 4 finger wide in the middle. Let me explain what I mean when I say 4 finger. I'm just going to step over here and get a different camera going. So those 4 fingers, my 4 fingers are about 3.5 inches, maybe 4 wide. Some people have bigger hands than me, but I can go ahead and slide that, and that way I know I have about 1/2 inch on either side of my center to actually blend with, okay? So how are we going to blend? Well, you can either take a dry brush and go upward. Make sure your saturation is really, really good here. And a little bit downward. Make sure we're wiping off that brush between. Or we can take our fingers to like this. We're going to open them up like peace out, man. Going to kind of round that index finger behind, and we're just going to slide. It's a lot easier to slide when the product's already damp and on there, but what can I say? I'm trying to move quick. We don't have a lot of time. Anyway, that being said, I know I just said, I keep saying we don't have a lot of time. We don't have a lot of time. Well, you see, here at Matrix, we have a mantra, and that's why that's what I was following. I actually, I was thinking outside the box, and I was believing in all of you to be able to handle this, right? I know you can. I was dreaming of our classes in a lunch break, and I'm daring to do it. Oh yeah, here we go. So as you are continuing up and you're folding things up and putting things off into the corner, I want to tell you a little bit about my family. Oh my gosh. I'm going to tell you a little bit about my family here at Matrix. The original brand by hairdressers for hairdressers, led by our amazing Arnie Miller. Arnie Miller started Matrix around 1980 and has been a great brand for all hairdressers. The bowl and brush technique, you might want to look into who brought that back over. Okay. So what do we stand for now? What do we stand for today? Oopsies. So when I say future-proof, what do you think? It sounds like a weird word when you say it like that. When I say future-proof your business, anyone want to give me a guess in the chat? Anybody? So we want to be prepared for not only our client today, but we want to be ready for the client tomorrow and their kids or their friends that they're bringing home from college and everywhere, hopefully everywhere, right? So what I find very impressive is many textures are blending and everything like that because it's America. We're a melting pot, right? And while that might seem confusing, oh no. While that might be really confusing, ouch. Matrix has provided you with, right here, in those pamphlets that I gave you, which has the directions for right here, and I lost some power there, sorry. Anyway, we have a lot of textures, and Matrix has you covered. What's very interesting, I find very interesting anyway, in all of the front of your books, there's always that, and something else that I've noticed more recently, speaking of how awesome this, oh, I'm so sorry, that chart is, which you do have some in your pile there. You can laminate that, hang on to it. It is good to have on hand just as like a reminder. But one thing I've seen lately that I find very cool, this is the new Curl Can Dream Scrunch and Go Defining Spray. I'm going to try to get real close here, and hopefully it's going to focus for me. If you can see there, you can see some of the similarities across on the Matrix diversity. And that can help not only us, that can help not only us, but like our clients can go, oh, look, I have wavy hair. I have some curl in it. That's for me. That is so cool. But do you want to know why they do such cool things like that? Because Matrix is inclusive. Oh, I'm stuck to a full piece of hair got stuck to me. Because we're inclusive, uncomplicated, uplifting, and accessible. What do I mean by accessible? Well, this really cool thing is if you go onto your Play Store, your Apple Store, excuse me, or any store that happens to come with your phone, L'Oreal Access actually has digital classes that you can kind of attend whenever need be, whenever you need a refresher, because we all do. It's okay. And then it gives you an opportunity to learn something new. So we're always doing better for our clients. That being said, how are these swatches doing? I know we've had them on for about 7-8 minutes now. We're doing good. We're doing good. That being said, let's keep going. Oh, look at that. Oh, I got ahead of myself yet again. I get excited about this diversity matrix because I find it very interesting. I love the chemistry and the biochemistry behind hair. I find it super interesting, and that Matrix has broken it down into just 4 easier categories that aren't overwhelming, makes it such an enjoyable experience to learn more about them. So real quick, I'm going to bring this lovely lady over. I know I didn't even show you guys yet. Right here, oopsies, is kind of what we're going to be looking at for our finished result. Ooh, right? She got it's a little humid, rainstorms and such. But we're gonna actually do something together where we're gonna actually try to figure out, while we wait for our, our swatches to process, we're gonna take a little bit of time together and we're gonna try to figure out where she was and where she's going to be. I know you already have the formulas ahead of time, but let's see if we can do this together real quick, shall we? This is one of my favorite games, I'm not gonna lie. Let me grab a pen here. So our beginning level, when we use, just give me a roundabout. I would say she's about an 8. And knowing our formula, which if you didn't hear me before, I'll put it on the screen. Let me just hit some buttons. There we go. So with our level, you guys have the formula. Go ahead and shout that one out. It's a level what? 5. Thank you. All right. What would be an underlying pigment of a level 8? I'm just going to do a letter just to make it easier. How about for level 5? Anybody? Oh, red. Very good. So what would her, I know you guys can't feel this. For those of you that are with me, by all means, you can come up and touch. I'm going to fill this one in because it's very hard for those who are joining me digitally to be able to tell. So I'm going to say she's about fine to medium. And obviously, the diameter should not change during this because we were just using Color Sync, correct? Correct, yeah. Her pattern, again, I'm going to fill this part in for you guys because you did not see her. I'm going to consider her just like this. We're going to follow the bottles. Kind of do just a wavy, right? I don't know about you guys, but I absolutely love that. I think it's a fantastic tool. Instead of trying to use numerals and letters, just to be like, it's that squiggly. But it makes it less intimidating, correct? Her porosity was pretty normal, and elasticity, same way. So I'm gonna fill that in for you guys. And some background for her, if you're curious. I had lifted her with High Riser. I'm gonna show you real quick. High Riser, excuse me, my dear. And 30 volume. I love this one, it's my favorite. It's my go-to. Because of the bond, I can push and there's bond, I love that. Let me take a look at our timer here. We've got about 5 more minutes before we have to dunky our swatches. So, that being said, I'm gonna pull some not movie. I'm not in a movie. Maybe I am in the movie. I'm gonna pull some TV magic, and I'm gonna show you what we got here. Ooh. And it is a little different because I do have a swatch a little bit lighter than our preferred mannequin. But I actually intentionally wanted to go a little bit lighter so you could actually see the more true underlying pigment. So, does anyone, excuse me, I can't speak, I apologize. Does anyone want to yell out what the starting formula was? 5M, very good. What did we put at the ends? 10 PR from what? Anybody? You can put it in the chat. Sync. No, the other one. Tonal control, very good, very good. And then in the center, what did we have? 8VR, very good. Now I kind of feel, especially with these lights and everything, you can really, really see those tones. I actually use several of these shades in my own hair, with orange, to make a nice little peach color. And it's a lot of fun. But, so we can see the result. We Tarantino'd. We worked to where we got there. Now real quick, again we smushied. For those who want to see a little bit better. I'm going to try a different way to show you here. Here we go. Smushy, 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 smushy. Just in case you wanted a nice little recap on that one. This is actually a game I love to play with people. It's always good to hit your basics. Control. I'm going to bring over those bowls. We're going to look at the bowls. It's how dark everybody got, right? How dark. And that bulk dye makes toning 1,000 times easier. The one other thing that I have noticed, I don't know about you, my friends. Actually, I'll grab this one too and we can compare and contrast. I feel like the ends over here are a little bit smoother opposed to over here. I mean, she was not treated. But that's what's really cool about tonal control being acidic. It kind of helps smooth some of that down. Where we might need a little bit more, what's a good word for that? It starts with a B. Ba 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 on the root. Ba 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 ba. Background. Very good. Background. We might need a little more root background, which is what we find in Sync, right? There's a little bit more full-bodied, which is your tans, your browns, and everything else. Where your Sync, or excuse me, my apologies, your tonal control is just a little bit softer, right? It's more acidic, so it's going to help a little bit with the smoothing and hanging on and retaining that moisture, right? That being said, I think I said that 3 times at this point. Does anybody want to share something that they learned today? No, that's okay. That's okay. That's totally fine. So I'm going to do a real quick recap. We're going to do it together. Big things we want to notice. Blendy, blendy. Right? Blendy, blendy. But we could also do blendy, blendy. Oops, excuse me. With a remember, dry brush. Toot, toot. So, blendy, blendy, or blendy, blendy, right? Right. Second thing, I think this is interesting. I don't know if everyone knows that Sync can be used with tonal control. They can touch. We are friends. And finally is the difference between acidic and alkaline. That you can use them in harmony together. And this line is my absolute favorite. Before I let you leave, please, 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 please. Before I let you leave, once again, thank you so much. And yet again, if you could be so kind, go ahead and hop on this. Go ahead and scan. If you are digital, I will go ahead and put this in the chat in just a moment. Give me 1 second. That I will, excuse me, we will go ahead and give you the link. There you are. This lets me know how well I did. And basically overall, and then it kind of gets to see what you need. And plus, I would really like to come back and hang out with you guys, just saying. All in all, do we have any more questions? Any comments? Maybe not comments. You can give comments, I'm kidding. Overall, thank you again so much. Thank yourselves. Be proud of yourselves that we did our patty melt. Take it.